welcome back. It's been a while, shall we say, quite a long time, but we're back, and the only thing we can't really talk about is the Italian Grand Prix, the last one of the triple header. Very eventful triple header, shall we say, but I think they saved the best till last. So initially, what was our thoughts about everything?
McLaren, that's all I'm going to say. Just McLaren. They were just incredible. Like, to have Daniel Ricciardo after the season he's had initially, to have him come and win was just, got to see the shoey on the podium. And just, yeah, but I think McLaren, they fully deserve that. Like, it was a long time coming and they've done it. So, and have a 1-2 as well. I think Lando was pushing for the one, but Lando, calm down. Let Daniel have this one. Your win will come in the future. But
exactly,
yeah.
It was kind of like a perfect weekend for them in a way. But everything just seemed to go to plan, unlike some of the other teams. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's just say that my F1 team flopped big time.
So I guess the only place we can really start off with is the big incident of Hamilton and Verstappen's crash.
It was coming. Like, they've been battling throughout the season. Yes, we've had incidents when, like, Silverstone, when Max came off and all this sort of stuff. So it's been, it was going to happen when both of them had written themselves off, and this weekend was the weekend. And Max has been given his penalty. Is it 3-place grid penalty?
Yeah, he got a 3 grid place and 2 penalty points.
That's it. Yeah. So I mean, obviously all the Max fans are gonna be like, "No, that's not fair. It was Lewis's fault," and all the Lewis fans are gonna be like, "That's not fair. Max deserves that." So, but I know,
I mean, I personally thought it was a racing incident.
I think lots of people did, but clearly the FIA saw it differently. So
the reason I think I read that they had to kind of give in the points is because they gave Lewis points at Silverstone, so it kind of just panned out. But
yeah,
I mean, the only thing I can say about it was, what really wound me up was he didn't even go and check on him. He just walked straight past him, and I just thought that was a little bit, could have at least gone, even if it wasn't, technically it is his fault, but everybody thinks it's a race. I think it's a racing incident. But at least he could have done was just gone and tapped him on the head and "Oh, you were right," not completely walk past him.
Yeah, I think
different comments on social media, it's ridiculous. Lewis is "Oh, I'm so glad to be alive," and then there's Max "That's what you get for not moving." I'm just
yeah.
I mean, we know Max has a temper on him, and I reckon he probably didn't do it purely because he probably punched Lewis rather than help him. So I can understand why he didn't go straight over. But yeah, I think in the heat of the moment, it probably wouldn't have been an "all right, are you okay?" It would have been something very, very different.
Yeah,
but
probably.
I don't think he's apologized, as far as I'm aware. I don't hold that to me, but the least I would do is be like, "Hope your head's all right. Bear in mind, my back tire just ran you over, but that's all right."
Yeah.
So
I think it's interesting though, going forward now, what's actually going to happen between them, because they've both become quite aggressive, neither of them backing out. So I can't see them going forward without more incidents like this happening.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think if Max hadn't gone over the sausage curb on the side, I don't think his car would have lifted up.
No.
But the fact that it did, and the fact that was quite a scary incident, I don't know whether that's going to make them rethink. But at the same time, they're so competitive with each other. I really don't think anything's going to change. I think, like you said, Ellie, I think the same thing's going to happen over and over again, and until someone generally does get hurt, and it's going to be a nasty day when that does eventually happen. So
it's then also the difference, but he could have backed out. You're racing.
None of them would have backed out.
Exactly.
They're racing for a
you're not going to back out. Come on.
No. They're racing for a championship title. It's not like it's Haas racing against Red Bull over here. This is a big thing. If you're a
Yeah.
Haskar, you're gonna be like, go through, but it doesn't work like that. So, yeah, I mean, it's as nasty as it is. You know, everyone's okay and everyone's fine, and we move.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah, I mean, the Toto Wolff and Christian Horner will always hate each other, and that's always going to be a thing. So they can say whatever they want about each other and their drivers, but it's, you know, it's just
I honestly thought, I think the principals have been more immature than the drivers.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Those
ridiculous.
two are something else. Yeah.
Honestly.
Those two are mad. But yeah, no, it's it is one of those things, and it's going to happen again. Yeah. So
yeah,
I feel for them.
I think Max will be more. I wouldn't say like he is an aggressive driver anyway, but he's going to be more for Russia because of what happened. He still doesn't think it's his fault, so he's just going to be.
And with his grid place penalty as well. If Hamilton gets up there in the grid, which, you know, unless anything goes wrong, it probably will happen, he's going to push harder and harder because he's going to want to get up there to save his championship title. So it's going to be an interesting race for him to push back.
He's going to be absolutely mad. Like, I genuinely don't think it's going to be the best of starts, especially if Max has got that grid penalty. So
it depends where he qualifies as well, but if it's Max Verstappen, he's going to be in the top 3 at least.
Yeah, exactly.
If not top 2. So it's
exactly. So
do you think
like it's going to be a fight?
Engine that they have to take at some point. Do you think they'll take this race because he already is going down?
Yeah.
So you might start.
Yeah, you're right.
That makes sense, actually. That makes so much more sense.
I mean, look at Bottas. He took his, didn't he? And he was at the back and he finished 3rd this week. So what's a time for Mercedes to do that with Bottas? You know, I guess they didn't expect that whole crash to happen, but at the same time, either way, he would have got points that weekend because he would have 100% been in the top 10. So it's, I mean, what a race that he did.
So. Is Sochi a more Mercedes dominated track, or?
Ooh, that's a good point, actually.
Because I know that Monza is a Mercedes dominated one. So it makes sense that Bottas managed to get all the way up there.
Yeah, we didn't beat the McLaren. So thing is, I was like, when watching, I was like, Bottas is climbing the table. Like, is he gonna go from back of the grid to first over here? Because if he does, that's not going to be good. But in all fairness, there's one reason to thank Red Bull this weekend, and it's Perez, because he stopped Bottas passing, because Bottas would have caught up with the McLarens 100% if Perez hadn't blocked him. And then obviously Perez got his 5-second penalty, which is why Bottas then got 3rd. But it's, thank you, Red Bull. I know that doesn't usually happen, but thank you.
One time with guys.
You saved McLaren, so we'll give you that one.
So
but
we've quickly talked about McLaren. Do we have any more thoughts about, do we reckon this is going to just be like a one-off, or are we going to see something soon again? Or
I think it's going to be a one-off, Daniel.
It's one of those things, isn't it, where it's just McLaren will have a really good week and then the week after will be further. I mean, they've always done well, to be fair. They always have done well. Obviously, Lando's done better than Daniel, but whether this is the confidence boost that he needs to go up the tables, I don't know. But
hopefully,
I'm hoping this is not just a one-off.
I hope he can carry on with it, but I don't know. I think it helped big time with obviously Lewis and Max going off, but
I don't think we'll see another McLaren 1-2.
Oh no,
that was incredible. So it
was amazing.
Yeah, we might. Really, I think
they've really spiced up the constructors as well.
I mean, they're 3rd, aren't they now? Are they 3rd again?
Yeah,
they're ahead of Ferrari. Yeah,
nice. That's gonna be a spicy battle.
At the moment, it's the top 4. Usually, it's like the top 1, 2, 3 battling out. We've got a whole ass table battling it out. Like, you know, I know we were going to talk about this later, but hello, we've just had Williams get points and now George Russell moving over to Mercedes. Like, what an incredible, that Williams getting points is absolutely just unheard of. And they had back-to-back, was it 3 weeks in a row?
Yeah.
I think they got points. I was like, what is going on? Like, this is ridiculous. So the whole table is just battles at the moment. Yes, okay, it might only be a few points, but to Williams, that has bumped them right up the table. You know.
And we just talk about the fact that Mazepin is 21st in the standings. He's just in a whole league of his own now.
Yeah, bless him.
Wow.
I mean, you know, you can blame well, you can't blame anyone, it's one of those things, but for Kimi getting COVID. So that
say goodbye to Kimi now as well.
I know. What thing is typical? He announces that he's retiring and then goes and gets COVID. So you're like, mate, it's just literally the worst luck possible, isn't it?
I think as soon as Kimi announced he retired, it was like, right, everything's just gonna start happening, and it all happened within like 3-4 days. It was like Kimi announced his retirement one day, then like a couple of days later he was like, Bottas is going to Alfa Romeo, and then the next day it was like George Russell is going to Mercedes, and then the next day it was like Alex Albon's going to Williams, and I was like, it's just all happening at once.
The thing is, though, it was a train, though, wasn't it? They were waiting for Kimi to announce retirements. They could announce Bottas' seats. They could announce George's seats. So they could announce Albon's seats. So yeah. But
now we're just waiting on that final seat to be announced because it's getting on my nerves.
Can we just have full teams now, please?
Yeah, please. I'm just like waiting here, like who is going to be in that seat?
Yeah.
Like I want it to be Callum. I don't think it's going to be Callum, but
everything was left so last minute. Like Perez only really got his seat like a couple of races before the end, and like I think this season it's all been done so early on. Not early on, but like quite settled for next year. Everyone knows what's happening.
Yeah.
So it's a bit weird. Whereas last year it was all really tense.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of
new regulations.
Yeah, and also a lot of people have signed like multi-year contracts, so they're, you know, they're guaranteed to stay on for the next like 2-3 years or whatever. So, you know, we've just had Aston Martin staying the same. We've got Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll staying, so that'd be nice to see them stay there. But it's one more seat, come on. Let's get it and let's have a full house. But it's going to be a very interesting season next season, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely, especially with the car. Like
yeah, of course, you've got a new car. Yeah, so it's I reckon I think George Russell is going to go Lewis Hamilton and run for his money. I think Lewis is really going to have to step his game up because I think George is going to come in there, and I know Mercedes don't talk about number 1, number 2 driver. I know that Toto Wolff's very set on not having 1 and 2, but yeah, I don't think he needs to say it, but I think we know who the 1 and 2 is this year. So
yeah,
you know, steps up. I don't know, but
it'll be interesting to see what happens. So
yeah,
it was almost
very
like Bottas is kind of accepted that he was never really going to be the favourite. But I think George, when George comes in, he's obviously going to want to be the fastest. He's going to want to be the best. I don't think he's going to let that happen easily. Let Lewis win easily.
What happens if Mercedes can't get like a winning car again? Like, what happens then? We put George in this top team, and suddenly they just go whoosh.
Yeah, let's hope not. Let's hope not.
Yeah, suddenly half of the winning teams.
Oh God, can you imagine?
God, imagine.
But how do you think Bottas is going to do at Alfa Romeo? Do you think he's going to keep racing well, or do you think? I mean, obviously he's going to be in a slower car, so he's not going to be up there. But do you think he's still going to push?
He's going to skip the challenge, like a challenge to like really put work hard for it all. But yeah,
I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm hoping he's still going to push, because I don't want him to, you know, because he's gone from Mercedes and dropped to a lower team. You know, the last thing you want is to lose his confidence and be like, oh well, I've been pushed down the ranking now. But at the same time, he could make a difference to you know, Alfa Romeo could be up there next year. We don't know.
Yeah, I think he seems quite excited from what I've read. He seems pretty.
Well, you're hoping for
excited.
him. It's probably pressure off. You know,
True, yeah,
he's in
honestly.
Mercedes. He's expected to win. Or you know, expected to get a podium at least. It's, you know, if I was him, I'd probably, you know, he's not the youngest on the grid, but you know, yes, he's not the oldest either. But for him, it's probably quite a nice time to sort of take a step back and,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
don't feel as much pressure. Obviously, he's still going to race. You're hoping he's still going to race well, but just without the pressure on top.
Yeah,
So,
I agree, yeah.
you know, all the rumours are he got sacked, and I'm like, hello.
No, I think this will be a good for him.
Yeah. Well, the rumours are that Perez won't stay at Red Bull next year. I mean, sorry, 2023.
Oh, I don't think he will
So-
either. I think next year will probably be his last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe
And
healthy, but he's very up and down, and sometimes he can be good, and we've seen he can be good, but it's not consistent enough.
No.
And he's still, like, you look at Bottas, even though Bottas has his weekends, he, like, last weekend he was beating Lewis in like the sprint and the quali and the race as well. But Perez rarely does that though. He's not challenging enough with Max.
Exactly. Like, I mean, not being funny, Lando's in front of him in the standing. So
yeah.
Yes.
I would just expect more from a Red Bull driver, I guess.
Well, everyone thought Pierre Gasly was potentially going to go there this year. Everyone was.
I wish he was.
I know, but I think he does well at AlphaTauri. He's done really well this season.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think he continues like he is here. 100% he'll be stepping up because someone will take him. And I reckon they're waiting for Perez to shift, and then I think it will be Pierre to Red Bull. But yeah, it's all just rumours and assumptions. You never know in this. I mean, we all got the assumption right that George Russell was going to go to Mercedes. So
Worst kept secret ever.
yeah, honestly, did you see in the interview? I think it was Sky. I think it was Sky Sport. Christian Horner comes over and is like, "Oh, congrats, George." This before it's announced. He goes, "Oh, congrats, George." And George goes, "What?" No. I can't remember who was interviewing him. They're like, "Oh, is that, you know, what's he congratulating you on?" He was like, "Oh, nothing." So everyone was like, "Yeah, okay, come on now." He's congratulating him on the deal that nobody knows about yet. But yeah, I was like, Christian is he's doing that deliberately to piss off Toto Wolff. So
But
that is a
side
rivalry and a
note,
half.
Ricardo did say, I read somewhere, Ricardo did say that Netflix was following McLaren at the Italian Grand Prix.
I saw that. I did, and I'm like, come on.
So excited.
What a weekend.
Oh my.
You know, they say Netflix is a curse. If you've got Netflix in your team that weekend, you're going to lose, or you're going to do badly, or something's going to go wrong with the car. But clearly, McLaren had luck on their side. So what a season of Drive to Survive that is going to be.
It's going to be so good. Honestly, amazing.
I feel like there needs to be more than 10 episodes. Like, how are they going to fit?
I'm gonna honestly, I'm gonna rewatch the whole series like this week. I just want to watch it again, so I'm just gonna. It's so good. So it's.
I mean, obviously they're gonna really dramatize Lewis and Max's rivalry.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they'll probably make a rivalry between Lewis and, I don't know, Mazepin at this rate. But yeah,
they'll paint Lewis out to be the, you know, the one that always wins and is, you know, doesn't let anyone else win and is this kind of person. It's like, yeah, calm down, come on now. But yeah, Netflix love to dramatize. It's like, no, I just want to watch the racing and the winning and the driving and all that sort of stuff, not all this drama that, you know.
Yeah, come on.
We know Netflix love a bit of drama, so why not? But yeah, what a season so far, and it's not even finished yet. I mean, how many races are left now?
8, I think.
Is there 8 left? Yeah, we're God. Closing in now, isn't it?
Jesus.
Yeah, God, yeah. Summer break seemed like it was going to take so long, and now look at us. We're back in the second half, and 8 races left. Yeah, so.
And I do think that Russia in general is just going to be manic with the racing. You've got the 3. F1, F2 and F3, everything.
They kill me off.
I think like
Yeah.
one of them starts at like 6:30 in the morning.
Oh yeah,
And
because
it's
we're getting
like-
on to the international times now, aren't we? So it's literally going to be,
The
Yeah.
killer.
yeah, it's going to be
is.
late nights or early mornings.
No, that's the one thing. As much as I love the Australian Grand Prix, getting up for it.
Yeah.
To be honest, when it's like that, I just watch the highlights when I wake up because I'm like, I can't be getting up at like 3 a.m. in the morning to. Well, I mean, I probably would, to be fair, but at the same time, it's depending on how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I mean, obviously there's no Australia this year, so which sucks because Melbourne track's actually really nice, but
especially for Daniel as well.
I know when he won and he was like, oh, I haven't seen my family in over a year. I was like, they'll be watching, they'll be rooting for you.
Yeah. Oh God, gutting.
Yeah.
Bless him.
That's tough. That is really tough.
Yeah.
You know, everyone else has been able to see their families, but Australia are just extremely strict with their borders, aren't they? So
yeah,
it's sad, but that's Australia.
Mm-hmm.
A bit
like myself.
You remember
We
like,
could
when we
set-
did like the very, very start of like well, not the start of the season, like when we filmed our first episode, and my prediction was that McLaren were going to win a race, and it wasn't going to be Lando, it was going to be Daniel.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
There we go then.
I was like, oh, I'm so proud.
Mine's aged so
Gonna have to go back
badly.
and.
One of
I'm gonna have
mine
to- I
was
can't remember
that
what I
Pierre
predicted.
Gasly's not going to be in a seat next year.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So
That broke
and,
my heart.
and then I
I
got on and
must
like
have written mine down somewhere.
every
I-
driver's going to have a point by the end of the season. I mean, I'm going to get close. It's just Hats that's letting me down. And
Yeah, and kind of jumped in there and messed it up a bit for you.
Can't remember what mine are. That's really bad.
And I've got Lando will achieve his first win by the end of the season. Still could be possible.
I hope so.
I think that could be possible. I don't know where or when, but there'd have to be another incident with because I reckon if Daniel hadn't done so well in qualifying and sprint race this weekend just gone, Lando would have got that podium 100%. But Daniel just, you know, yeah, it would have been Lando.
If Turkey goes ahead, I think Lando could do well there.
Yeah,
because it's a bit of a free for all track. We don't go there very often. Well, I think we did it once last year.
Yeah, but look at. I thought Spa.
Last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anything's possible in Turkey, honestly.
Well, I thought Spa was going to be his weekend, and then obviously he had that horror crash, didn't he, in the worst turn in history of F1, and that was just awful. Like just watching that when they cut the cameras to show him coming round the corner and no car turned up.
No, literally,
my heart dropped.
There was something about it. I was like, this doesn't feel right. And then there was like a noise, and I was like, oh my god,
they had his
yeah.
They had his what's it fucking called? His speed gauge at the bottom of the screen, and you could literally just see the whole thing drop. I was like,
yeah, just stopped. And I was like, oh my god.
They see spinning, and you're like, and then you have the absolute god that is Sebastian Vettel, who.
There's me like texting Chloe. Oh my god.
It was that was one of the that was so scary. And then he got out holding his elbow. I was like, oh my god, he's broken his arm. He won't be racing. This is it. But luckily, that was all fine. Yeah, I was like, you know what? I'll take a broken arm. I'll take that. But yeah, no, bless Sebastian Vettel who checked on him after, because what an absolute legend he was. Yeah, it reminded me of when who was it? I'm gonna get everything wrong now. I think it involved Senna. It was when Senna checked on.
It's not.
And anyway, it was the same driver that checked on Senna, but that was the crash that was too late. It was he tried to save him, and it was too late. That reminded me of that whole scenario when Sebastian Vettel pulled alongside Lando. I was like, my god, this is like history repeating itself.
Yeah. hope it doesn't, because
No, luckily
No.
everyone was fine and it was good. I mean, thank God for the new F1 cars, because
yeah, honestly, all we can really do is thank the bloody Halos as well at this point.
well, after Lewis's incident, I think everyone is very, very grateful for the Halo.
Yeah,
So
you should hope Jesus.
yeah, he would
But-
have. I would have been a very different story if the Halo wasn't there. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, you got to be grateful for these things. But
Mm.
yeah, what
Yeah,
season?
definitely.
That was more of like a little catch up, but we haven't done it in a few weeks, so a lot of things
Yeah.
did happen. So we're gonna
Lots
just
there.
we're just gonna rename this as a catch up because a lot of things happened. But yeah,
Yeah. To sum up the triple header in 3 words: boring, and very thrilling. The 3 that we had.
Words.
Oh, got the and. Get rid of the and. Ignore the and bit. Yeah, the first 2, absolutely boring. I hated it. No offense.
Yeah.
The Dutch Grand Prix so far, but
Yeah.
I was fine.
Yeah. Well, no race. Pretty much knew the
Boring.
winner from day one, and then
Yeah.
Italy.
Monza is always going to produce a good race. It always will. I mean, Charles won there 2 years ago. Pierre won last year. Daniel this year. So
yeah, it's quite nice to have a mix of people on the podium at Monza, to be fair, because usually it's just set. It's Mercedes or Red Bull at the moment, isn't it? So to have someone else on the podium is great. I mean, yeah, I know it was at the hands of a crash between the top 2, but everyone was fine. So
all that matters.
yeah, McLaren can take that win, and highly deserved. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's it from us. Should we just say another few weeks? We've got very few busy weeks with everything.
Yeah.
But we will be back. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.